Hello everyone, welcome back to GeoMicrosphere. In today's video we are going to learn something about land use land cover, how to perform land use land cover classification in ArcGIS Pro. So we have already done a video on how to perform land use land cover using ArcMap. So that so if you want how to perform LULC in ArcMap, you can check my page and then you will see all those videos for accuracy assessment and then your change detection. So today's video is focusing on how to use ArcGIS Pro to calculate for land use land cover classification. So the first thing you need to do is you need to download your satellite image. Either you are using Sentinel, Landsat, Modis or NASA. So if you don't know, you are a first time user and then you don't know how to download Landsat image or any satellite image, you can check my page. I have a lot of videos there which can guide you to download any satellite image. So after downloading your image, the first thing you need to do is you have to export your image to ArcGIS Pro. And then before you export your image, if your image is zip, you have to unzip it and then you go to your map, then you go to add data here, then you locate to where you have saved your satellite image. As you can see, I have my satellite image here, which you just have to click it and then this will open. So when you are dealing with land use land cover, we just focus on band 2 to band 7. So here, if you want to choose your band, you just select your band 2, you hold your shift, then you select your band 7, then you click on OK. So after clicking OK, you will see all the bands on your contents here. So after getting all your bands, the next thing you need to do is you have to composite the band. And then to do composite band, you have to go to your imagery here and then you go to your tools, then you go to process, then you choose your composite band here, or you go to your view, then you choose your geoprocessing tool, then you can also search your composite band here. Yes, so as you can see, we have our composite band here. That's the data management tool. So you can use either the first one or the second one to perform your analysis. So here you come here, you select all your bands here from band 2 to band 7, then you add it. After adding it, you set your output file where you want to save it, then you click on run. So let's quickly dive into it. So I have already getting my composite band here. So I will not be needing all this here, so I will just remove this one. Okay, so this is my composite band here. Okay, so this is my composite band here, and then when you are performing land use land cover classification, you have to know the band composite. So let me show you some example of the band composite. So we have the properties of the band here. This is the properties of the band. That's the Landsat 8 2013 and then Landsat 9 start from 2021. We have our number of bands. Landsat 8 contain 11 bands. We have spatial resolution 30-meter resolution, and then we have our radiometry, that's the 12 bits, and then temporal resolution. And then here is the band composite. So when you are performing vegetation, if you want to know how vegetation appear in a certain area, you use band composite of 543, build tab 764, and then the others. So let's quickly get into it. So the first thing you need to do is you have to add your base map. If you are not familiar with the place, you have to add your base map. So to add your base map, you go to your map here, then you click on this one, base map here, click on the drop down, then you choose your imagery here. Alright, so after getting your base map, this will guide you to know where a certain class is located. So when I uncheck this one, you can see we have our vegetation here. Our build tab is mostly located here, and then we have our water body here, and then some vegetation around the water body, and then we have our barren land and our other classes here. So let's quickly start our classification. So after doing your composite band, then you clip to your study area. So you have to go to the same map there, add data, and then you add your study area map, So when you are not dealing with the whole image that you downloaded, you can just import your study area here. As you can see, I have a study area here, which you can see it here as a black. So you just import your study area, then you go to your view, you go to your geoprocessing tool, then you search for clip. Okay, so you choose clip raster. So if you open your clip raster, you can see we have input feature as a composite band, and then your output feature will be your shapefile. Then you check use input feature and then maintain clipping extent, then you click on run. It will clip only your study area, then you can remove the other portion that you may not need it. So let's quickly start our classification. So to start your classification, go to your imagery, then you locate okay, you go to, so you make sure you have select your composite band that you are coming to work with. Then you go to your imagery, you select your class, you click on the drop down row on the classification tool, then you go to training sample manager. As you can see, I have already performed a classification here, which you can see I have a lot of classes here. So I remove all this, then we can perform our classes here. Okay, so let's quickly start performing our classes. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to perform our classes on our water body here. So you select your water body, then you choose either polygon, either rectangle, or polygon, or circle, or freehand. Then you draw. So the first one, you're going to choose our rectangle here, and now you start drawing on where we are taking training samples, on where our water body is located. So try as much as possible to take your training sample on only where water body is located, so that the system or the classifier can classify the place as water body during your support vector machine, or your maximum likelihood classification, or your k nearest neighbor. Okay, so as you can see, we have, let me uncheck this base map so that you can see it well. So we have a water body here, only this place. So after taking your classes for one class, that's the water body, you click here, that's the first one, then you hold your shift key, then you scroll down to the last one, then you click them. So you select all of them, then you come here, collapse. You can see this button here, collapse. You click on collapse. So you have merged all your classes here, then you go and then take another class. So this one we are taking for our built-up area. So as you can see, we have our built-up area here. So we are going to take our classes on where our built-up area is located. So if I want to check this one, you can see all these places are built up. So let's take our classes here. So to take your built-up area, you have to come here and then select your built-up. Then you choose your feature that you are going to use to take the classes. Okay, so this one we are taking classes for built up area. So if you are not seeing it clear, you can just zoom in to the last button, and then so that you can see every portion of the place if you are not most familiar with the place. And if you are using other satellite image rather than Landsat image, please do well to check for the properties and then check for cloud cover and everything. Some image contain cloud cover which may distort your classification, so do well to check your cloud cover and then everything before you download the image. So as you can see, all these places are built up area, so you have to take their classes around where built up is located. Okay, so we can just zoom out and then zoom in to take the classes on another place too. Okay, so as you can see, we have some built up area here too, so we can just take one class here. Okay, so this one, to select the first one, you scroll down to the last one, then you collapse it, then you have your built up. So the next one you're going to use, we are going to use our barren land, which may be difficult for you to see barren land around built up area, but you have to zoom in. Okay, so all these places you can see where the road is, and then all these places are barren land. So barren land is the same as bare land, where nothing is there and then the place has been left bare. You can't find any either vegetation or built up or any structure there. That's what we call a barren land. So you can take your classes around where road is, because in road we don't have any classes. Okay, so we don't have much barren land. Okay, so let's take the next one. We have our sparse vegetation. Okay, so as you can see, we have our dense vegetation here, and then we have our sparse vegetation here. So all these places along the water body, and all these places will be classified as a dense vegetation, and all these places will be classified as sparse vegetation. So let's do our classification here. Okay, so we have our sparse vegetation there, and then the next one will be our shrubland, but we are going to change the shrubland to dense vegetation or just vegetation. Then we can change the color to deep green. Okay, so you do well to zoom in so that you can get the classes very well. And as I was saying, if you are not getting the classes, you can just change the bank composite. You have to just click on this one, a pop-up will open here, and then you change the bank composite from either 543 or 654, so that you can just view it clearly. Okay, so you can take the class as much as you want, but make sure you're taking it on the right portion or the right place, so that it will not be misclassified. All right. Okay, so this is our last class we take. So after taking your training sample, the next thing you need to do is you have to save your training sample. So to save your training sample, you go to either save or save as. So we are going to use our save as to save our training sample. Okay, so I'm going to name it as train, as I have already. Okay, I already have train here, so let me make it, okay, let me make it double N here. So this is our new training sample, which we are going to use it. So after saving your training sample, the next thing you need to do is you have to go to your imagery, and then you choose your classified, or better still, you can go to your view, and then you go to your geoprocessing tool, then you search for classified. But simplest way, you go to your imagery here, you click on the drop down arrow, then you choose classified. So on your classified, we have classifier here where you can just change. We have ISO cluster here, we have maximum likelihood, we have k nearest neighbor, random tree, support vector machine. So we have many classifiers that you can use, but on this video we are using our support vector machine here, and here is our training sample. So we are going to locate where we save our training sample. So you just have to click on this folder button here. Then if you are not seeing your training sample, you just have to refresh it here. So as you can see, this is the new training sample I just saved. So you just have to click on it and then click OK. So we have our training sample here, and then this is the maximum number of sample per class, that's the 500. Leave it as a default, and then segmentation image is optional, don't choose anything there. And then your output, you can just click here and then change your output, and then this is your output classifier definition. That one too, if you want to change the location, you can change the location. Then after that, you just click on run. So you just have to wait for a few moments as your training classifier is running. You just have to wait for a few moments. Okay, so we are almost there, which may take a few seconds to Alright, so we are at the final stage. Alright, so this is our land use land cover classification, how to perform land use land cover classification. So as you can see, we have our water body here, and then we have our build type here, and then we have our sparse vegetation, and then our dense vegetation. So this is the simplest way to calculate for land use land cover classification in ArcGIS Pro, using satellite image. As this one I used Landsat image. So if you are using MODIS or NASA or any data from Copernicus, the same process. You have to download your image, import it, clip your study area, do your composite band. After your composite band, you clip your study area, and then you start performing your classification. So thank you very much for your attention, and please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, and leave a comment for me to do more videos on this. So the next video we are going to do is we are going to do our change detection on this one against another one. So I'll be doing another one so that we can do our change detection on the next video. Thank you very much for your attention.